What's up, friends? Scon Gaming here, and I bring to you today a black screen of the dark deep void. For some reason, OBS is being a little slow at loading this, so I today am going to do my typical season patch notes green screen release. I love doing this. It's always a total riot. I gotta get back to doing this on Twitch because that was the most fun, but I just have to squeeze this in whenever I have a break in the day. For some reason, it is just not refusing to. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Lots happened. So I think they're trying to refresh an old archetype, which a lot of people have been waiting for forever. Candidly, I didn't even get to watch Gwent open. My life has been that busy. So this is me just coming into this dry. No idea what I'm about to read. Just that Regis is headlining. I'm glad he's the new journey. Like I've been saying, I've actually been playing a lot of Gwent, just not on stream and not necessarily recorded. Been playing it instead of creating content, which has been kind of a fun experience. Okay, Salvine is almost here. The greatest. Salvine is one of my favorite things in Gwent. It's a old elvish holiday where we all get to dress up. Make sure to grab sheepskin with a pumpkin head. It's a riot. Let's jump into it. So, changes. The products in Shoop Shops are now grouped within new subcategories. Cool. About time they've actually made the place where we spend money functional. Reduced the display duration of cards played by opponents, which will speed up the average game times. They've been talking about this stuff and reducing animation game times for a while now, and I've yet to notice a difference, to be honest. I know some people who play this for inane numbers of hours because it's their day job might have a different perspective, but for me it's okay, I guess that the using leader charges goes a little faster. Anyway, hopefully it actually improves it and makes the super fast game mode from Season of the Draconid really playable, and they can just make that a permanent fixture because it is hands down the most fun way to play Gwent when you only have 5 minutes and you don't want your opponent to rope. And you just kind of want to play a quick game. That really needs to be updated until they can get PvE content, which is something else they should be working on, but I'm not going to digress on that in this video. New journey, new contracts, follow Regis, about time. Salvine returns. You'll be able to help the crones with their chores to unlock new rewards. After helping the chosen crone, you'll be able to help a second and third one. You will receive a special coin for helping out the two crones. 2 of the crones and a border trinket for completing all of their tasks. 30% reduction sale for spooky ornaments. Introduced a new reward page to players. Added new effects for ability cooldowns, counters, fees, and insanity costs. And introduced a change to the exit without saving button in the deck builder, where players will now only receive the confirmation pop up if the deck is invalid. Which sounds like a new thing, but they just literally reverted it to how it was before. I personally found this super obnoxious to have to press save and exit even when I changed nothing about a deck. Neutral, mushy trouble, provision changed from 9 to 10. Whatever. I didn't actually feel like it was all that great, but some people are liking it with Crow Clan preachers, and I think they're really trying to nerf meditating mages, which feels premature to me. To be perfectly honest, I think people just got frustrated and didn't really think out how to counter it very well. Watch my video, it's a day late and $1 short that I already posted earlier this week. Maybe today, depending if I have time to post this one up. But anyway, it's up, it's live, go watch it. I have lots of thoughts. Everybody just should have included Sigfrid up to now. I don't know. They made it cheaper. Why didn't people use him? Anyway. Monsters, Detlef, Higher Vampire, power change from 5 to 6. Cool. Hopefully he'll stick. But I don't have all that much hope. And Dragon Queen, power change from 5 to 6. Provision change from 7 to 6. So big boost for her. That's fine. I actually really like her. She's the one who she consumes, gets the armor, and then spawns drones for each of the armor. So I'll definitely have to go back to some of my organic type decks, organic removal probably. I'll play pretty well in the current meta. Goliath, power change from 8 to 7. Maruna, power change from 5 to 6. weird change for a card that you want to consume immediately. I feel like provision buff probably would have been a little better. I honestly think like just set the provision 1 point lower and drop her power, and that would be fine. It's an awkward thing to make a Death Wish unit thicker. Goliath changed from 8 to 7 is a big boost for Goliath. Definitely going to be using him more. He already was basically a mandatory inclusion until the Price of Power expansion, so I think he's just back to mandatory again. Old Spirit Tip still trash. A 12 for 11 points is not great. Osril provision changed from 9 to 8, which is fine, and then Toad Prince from 3 to 4, which is kind of a big deal. There are a lot of 4-point cards, but I really think like take his provisions up 1 and take it to 5 would really make him actually a useful card. Drowner provision changed from 5 to 4, and Puka now has 1 armor. Meh. Skellige, Arnvald, power change from 4 to 6, so now you get some extra points for that cultist conversion when you transform a damaged unit into a bear abomination. I don't really see the point of doing that, but you can. Blood Eagle, Bloodthirst condition no longer ignores the target unit when it becomes damaged by Blood Eagle. So this is helpful. I don't know why it was always proccing this way. It was a frustration for me and many players. Obviously, the damage is done first in the text, so the Bloodthirst condition should check after the damage is dealt. So I think that this just, makes the card work like how it should work. Fukusia, power change from 5 to 4. Fine. I think the provision nerf is really... I think that the thing that she needed specifically was that she could only res 9 provision units so that she could not grab Melusine. But here we are. Scale, provision change from 7 to 6. He's kind of the worst of the 10 points because if he takes 5 damage, he just instantly dies. He plays like more similarly to Ikarin, but Ikarin has 13 points, and you can consume it within the archetype. So Skellige's just kind of been pooped on over time. Wild Boar of the Sea, power change from 3 to 4. They keep tweaking this. Like, this is just setting it back to where it was from a few patches ago. Like, everybody... And this is kind of a running joke in the Gwent community. Like, nobody's playing Wild Boar for points. You could make it 1 point, and its entire purpose would still be served. I don't get it. Like, I really just don't get it. They should maybe make it like... And what would be cool for Wild Boar of the Sea to like really bring it back is to do like a deploy crew condition where like if you played it between 2 pirates, then it would proc the 2 damage instead of just the 1 damage, instead of needing it to be against units that are already damaged. That could make it way more playable and would be pretty darn fun. But anyway, I digress. The Moon Smuggler now has Zeal. Fine. Drummond Villager, bleeding duration changed from 3 to 4 for both targets. She's such a weird card. Primal Savagery, provision cost changed from 5 to 4. That's the one where you damage the unit. If you kill it, then it spawns a bear abomination. So that's actually kind of a big boost for them. So if they want to do like some tickle damage cards and then you're able to get that death blow and spawn the bear abomination, that might actually make a resurgence here, but we'll have to see. Svalbard Ravager, a Bloodthirst condition no longer ignores the target unit when it becomes damaged by Svalbard Ravager. Again, same thing to the Blood Eagle. It's just weird to me when cards require the Bloodthirst check before they actually do the damage. Like, the text should go in order. I don't know. If anybody plays Dominion, like I really love Dominion, and Dominion, it's very clear. You always execute a card in order of text. Like, if you do the first thing, that can enable the second thing. And Gwent should really work that way too. It's strange to me when it doesn't. It's like, oh, check the bottom of the card to make sure the condition is met in order to do the thing at the top of the card. It's weird. Reynard. Oh, deploy replaced with formation order. I mean, I guess this like encourages you to play him earlier. He's kind of a dumb card in the current meta, but whatever. Thaler, power change from 6 to 7. Provision change from 8 to 7. Still a stupid card. Nobody's going to play him. I don't know. Maybe somebody will prove me wrong, but I doubt it. Vandegrift is a huge change. 5 to 6 gives him a lot more staying power. He's much harder to remove, and you just get like, even if you have 1 point of carryover into a super tight round, you can do stuff with that. So he's just another body on the board. Vernon Roach, provision changed from 11 to 10. It's about freaking time. He's the one that plays 2 cards from your deck. He still has 3 points on the enemy side, so you can't like readily use Hengate. You have to use something else to damage him first. And in the current Northern Realms meta, you don't really want to play out just like a whole bunch of cards. You want to be a little bit more thoughtful. Vizigard now has 2 armor. Wah, wah. Whatever, man. This is not a way to solve his card. They need to give him a zeal condition. Like, just give him a zeal condition. It's not hard. Vindhelm of Atra, power change from 3 to 4. I'm going to go back to this. He really needs a zeal condition. Northern Realms just really doesn't have that much removal. Like, give them Vizigard. And it's pretty easy to see when a Vizigard is getting set up. And everybody else has been just, like, gifted unseemly amounts of removal lately. So, like, getting it set up for a Vizigard is like, oh, they're boosting every single unit. Maybe we should tap those down to, you know, stock points or damaged point value. And if you do that, then Vizigard's still useless, right? So, I mean, give him a zeal condition. Don't give him 2 armor. Vindhelm power change is kind of dumb. I mean, he's just there as an engine that always gets damaged anyway. Aretuza Adept power change from 4 to 5. Kara Ballista. So I think this is a big deal. I think actually this makes sense. She plays for so much value right now. Meditating Mage change. Fine. I don't feel like Meditating Mages were honestly all that great. And this Fukusia change is not nearly... Like, Skellige feels better than Northern Realms. It just does. It just really, really feels better. And for them to give, like, minor tweaks here and the kind of bigger, more impactful tweaks here, where, like, the Meditating Mage thing seems like, oh, they just reduced the power by 1. But, like, if you're getting 5 on the board, that's a loss of 5 points. It also makes it so that, like, 3-point removal is pretty easy to get in this game. So this kind of feels rough to me. Not gonna lie, I feel like Northern Realms is going back to being fairly unplayable. Redanian Knight power change from 1 to 2. This is kind of a weird change, especially since like he has so much value with Bellahoon, and I mean he's still good value with Bellahoon, but it's just a weird change. I mean, at least now you can like portal them out and get some value, but Cadwani Cavalry is still probably a better prospect for that. Siege Master, power change from 4 to 3, provision change from 5 to 4, now has 1 armor. It's the one who like gives the charges or the boosts to each side and acts as crew. It's kind of a weird card. Salva on Deem, power boost change from 6 to 5, provision change from 9 to 7. This is good. It's a pretty shite card, if we're being honest. It like would meet its provision cost. And it was like it was especially you could play out of the graveyard, which I think was supposed to like help with orbs and Francesca. But like getting the right number of cards in the right order is really difficult with the graveyard specking, especially with Francesca. I mean, with orbs, you can just like throw them down on something. You just need to have something, a unit that doesn't have Veil, so they can actually get the vitality. It's a big issue I see people run into. But I don't know how much that materially changes the usefulness of that card. Torque, power change from 4 to 5. This is stupid change. Like, reduces provision if you're going to give them a buff. The entire point of his card is to boost him so that he boosts other things. Like, just giving him a provision raise is not... This is meaningless. It's just stupid. It's not like he does anything once he hits the board anyway. You don't like need him to have girth. Reduce his provisions and drop his point value. Like reduce his provision by 1 and drop his power from 4 to 3. No one will care. Like that would make it more useful. Just make him super cheap to include in your deck. Especially since you've made so many other tutors cheap. mean, he's just like the Sunset Wanderers kind of idea. But anyway, War Dancer is trash. Vrihid Brigade is trash. These are meaningless changes. And Dolbathana Sorceress nerf. I don't really understand why they did that. I mean, she's like good, but not amazing. It's kind of strange that they would recognize that Scoia'tael needs some love and then give a nerf to one of the cards at the same time. But who am I? Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard needs some serious love. I feel bad for all you Nilfgaard fans out there. It's rough, man. And the fact that they're nerfing coup de grace is just weird to me. Viper now additionally gains spying when summoned from the graveyard to the battlefield. This makes sense, except that it doesn't, right? So he's back to your side of the board. So I don't really understand. It would get spying, and then that spying would proc for the opponent's Artad. So that's a little bit weird. I don't understand why they made this change, but someone smarter than me will explain to you why that is in the coming weeks. Alchemist, power change from 4 to 5. Dumb card anyway. Ardfane Crosssummit. I mean, it's like useful in like 2 decks. Or 2 archetypes. Ardfane Crosssummon, power change from 3 to 4 makes sense. A little bit more staying power is helpful for them, though they do need the armor. At least they can stick on the board. Mage Infiltrator now has additional effect Death Blow, move self to the opposite row, and remove spying. That's actually kind of really interesting. I actually like this. This is actually like a really good balance change for this card. If Nilfgaard were good right now. Like, yes, and I've complained about this ad nauseum, but Blightmaker, Mage Infiltrator combo is one of the best points per provision counts in the game. Making it so that you can't just spam Mage Infiltrators at the beginning of a round to tempo out your opponent will make you think a little bit. So the question is, when you say move self, does that count as the summon and does it proc the damage? We'll have to wait and find out. Ointment, boost amount change from 4 to 5. Category change from alchemy to tactic. Yeah, the alchemy tag was weird for this one. I don't know that it is a tactic, but at least like they're combining the synergy. Tactics really do function pretty well for Nilfgaard if you want to do like an enslaved deck with Helga. Tactics have always been one of the better option archetypes, and that continues to get built out here. Now if they would just pay that kind of attention to Northern Realms and Warfare and spells, like there's no spell tutor, and Warfare is trash, so fix it. Syndicate, Adalbertus Kalkstein, provision change from 7 to 6, it kind of makes sense. He does cost to purify, and although he can purify a bunch of units, I think this puts him a little bit more on par with Gremist. Gremist is getting played a lot right now. And I think making Purifies cheaper, especially Purifies where you can use them more than once, would be a healthy add to the game and would be a better solution to Meditating Mages than just pure nerfing them. That way there's more rock, paper, scissors going on and not just, missing out. But like Row Punish, Purifies, dude, there's so many answers to Meditating Mages. Stop whining and just build them into a deck. Let Northern Realms be playable for 3 weeks before we enter what we all know is going to happen for the next 3 months, which is like in terminal control. It's what happens every time. We all play the fun new thing that's a bunch of smash points because it's fun and new, and we can only do it for those few weeks before it becomes unplayable. Bincy Blummervolt change. Hold it. Change is really good. I love her. Prophet Lebioda is Northern Realms as well. Power change from 6 to 8 is massive. It's kind of a big deal. I'm really excited to play him. He's the one who gives shields whenever you play a unit next to him. Blind Eye Apothecary. Boost amount change from 3 to 4. Cut up Blackie. Provision change from 5 to 4. Line of credit, amount of coins changed from 6 to 7. That's nice, actually. Mutated Hounds, power change from 4 to 5. Payroll Specialist, 2 to 1. Witchfinder Executioner, power change from 3 to 4. And Wretched Addict, boost amount change from 1 to 2. We realized we done fucked up on Syndicate, and we're trying to make it better with all of you Syndicate fans. Yeah, I got news for you. Like, buffing a few askance cards is not going to fix the faction. Try again. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but this is kind of hilarious that you could, like, proc spying units next to Lebiota, and they would get shields. Fun. Illusionist no longer triggers its own bonded effect. All of these are just some changes they need to make. I'm not even going to bother going through them. Look, I just find that this patch, as with most of the other patches, is just kind of lame. I think that what is the stupidest thing about this patch, going in dry on this. Where's my boy Regis? Where's Regis? He's unplayable. Not virtually, he is unplayable. He is hands down one of the worst working cards right now. Needing to set up for him is just infinitely worse than Igni. At least Igni, you have the option once you get over to a certain threshold. And it's just kind of like a binary, like, is it over, is it under? Regis, you have to get each of them 1 point different from each other in order to get maximum value. And if you can't get the death blow on a 1 point unit, game over. But maybe we should try him with Centurion Spellweavers. More on that later. Until next time, though, friends, good luck out there. Try to have some fun in Gwent this season, and keep on Gwenting. Bye for now.